everybody, Valley J here with another factory video for you. Today I'm going to be going over some of the tips and tricks that I've learned building my own factory so you can have yours set up as neat and efficient as you want. The first thing I'm going to go over is 3 of the more important building tools for setting up a factory, and these are your 3 rollers. What makes them special isn't their functionality, but more of a building tool. Because as you can see, conveyors will only snap one direction. That's to prevent your belts from going to the same place. Now, should you need to turn one around, simply snap a roller to it, and then your conveyor will snap onto either end. And this has several applications, which I'm going to show you here in just a moment. Come around here to my first example, and that is butting a vacuum hopper straight up to your builder to collect anything the builder spits out, and then pull the extra components from the builder and send them on down the line. Now, to do this, all you have to do, place your builder, put a long conveyor coming out of the output of the builder, put a roller onto the end of the conveyor, remove the conveyor, grab your vacuum hopper, spin it around, and snap it to the roller. That's all there is to it. Now, my second example over here is separating a builder from the rest of your power lines. Normally, because conveyors will share power, if you have a builder hooked up to the line, it will be powered. This normally would be nice, but if you have identical builders hooked up to the same line and try to set one to a different product, it will affect both of them. So you have to separate them in order to get them to work fully. Now, what I normally do here, as you can see, I've built the shack upper floor, and then I have a roof, and then I have a floor down on the bottom to have different layers of height. And all you have to do is put your component sorter or vacuum hopper or whatever you want on the tallest block, hook a conveyor up to it, hook your ammunition plant or whatever you want to build up to that. And you're going to remove your conveyor. Then you're going to come over and grab your ammunition plant, but do not touch your right stick. Don't move, nothing. Once you grab it, it will drop down as you just saw. Then you can grab your conveyor, hook it right back up, and it no longer has power. You will need a separate entire power line, power circuit for your builder, but if you want to manufacture multiple things using the same builders, it's really the only way to do it. Now I'm going to show you how to have multiple vacuum hoppers feeding onto one central line. Now, this is useful if you want to set up a ammunition plant and have all your ingredients stored in individual hoppers, and then put them on a line and carry them to your builder. Now, this is actually quite simple to do. First, we're going to take a vacuum hopper and line it up as best we can. It doesn't have to be perfect unless you're building in really tight places. So I'm going to go with that. Then you take one of your split tracks here, hook it up to your first hopper. I'll move these out of the way for a moment. And you simply hook a roller to your split track, move your split track over, hook another roller up to it. When you have as many rollers as you need, simply hook it up to your belt. Or you can use another conveyor piece, whatever really works for you. Now, getting your second piece lined up is as simple as you want to hook your curved roller to one of your vacuum hoppers. This will give you a 90-degree angle. You're going to pick it up, and without touching your right stick, move it out of the way. Then you can take your straight conveyor piece, grab it, and again, without touching the right stick, you can line it up wherever you need it to go. Then just simply place another conveyor under it and extend them as far as you need to. Then you have multiple hoppers feeding into one line for easy manufacturing. Now, one thing that's bothered me about a lot of these conveyors is the sides are not very big, so sometimes things will fall off. That's why I've devised a way to use fences as kind of a safety wall to keep things from falling off. These wire fences actually work great as they actually clip into the side of the conveyor wall. If you need longer ones, you can use the one with the post in the middle. It will do the same thing. You may have to move it around a little bit, play with it. But once you get it where you need it, it really keeps things from falling off the side. Which, if you have a very complicated setup, that's really a pretty good thing, especially with multiple sorters running. And you can really use anything you want. Wall pieces, I got some fence posts here that I've lined up right next to it. Just whatever you think looks best. Alright, now we're going to come over here, get back into my workshop mode, and I'll show you how to use a conveyor to refill a vacuum hopper. Normally, the only way to fill a vacuum hopper is to put something in a container. However, using the same trick that I used on my builder over there, I found a way to refill or restock your conveyors without having to do quite as much work. And it's pretty much the same principle as before. You have your vacuum hopper that will send things to your other vacuum hopper. I put a conveyor belt here just to make sure there's enough room in between. A long conveyor, and then your roller. Again, you just take out your long conveyor, grab your vacuum hopper, and even without power, anything that goes into the mouth here will be stored in the vacuum hopper. Now for my last little bit of advice, that's getting conduit onto the ceiling. And for that, these long vertical pieces work wonders. As you can see, I've already got several set up here. Conduit running on the ceiling. I'm going to go over here and find my conduit. Now you can use these to really set up some conduit in tight places. 'Cause normally, say you want to run, I don't know, 4 or 5 pieces of conduit side by side, but you want them in a really narrow space. And normally, you'd have to have a pretty good gap in between. However, if you look down, you can see that you can push them almost side by side. Now, if you have any junctions or converters to wires, you will need to leave a little bit of space, but you just simply, space them out a little bit. Then you can add your longer pieces. And if you don't want the conduit on the wall, all you have to do is put it back in the workshop, and the pieces stay on the ceiling. And this is a great way to make all your wiring as hidden as possible. Now, if you'll notice, there are two sizes of these. The smaller one is for normal wooden or metal walls, and the larger one is for barn and warehouse walls, which are slightly taller than the other walls. I think that's about all I have for you. I hope I showed you something useful, and get out there and get to building. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.